the time. Yada, 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 so on and so forth. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Snodacast. I'm your host, Black Chef 56, and I'm, of course, joined by my second in command, Diamond Assassin, aka Lewis.
What's up, everybody?
All right, and of course, we're also joined by DJ Lionheart, aka Leon.
Hey, guys.
And of course, we're joined by the undying Hungry Hufflepuff, aka Ali.
Oh, I wish that wasn't true right now.
One of those
All
days,
right.
Allie? One of those days?
It's been a long day.
I can tell. Alrighty then. So going from there, we're gonna go ahead and go into weekly updates. This is the point where our weekly session of where we ask, well, just the age-old question of how the fuck was your week? Alrighty then. So Lewis, we're gonna go ahead and start with you.
How the fuck was my week off? It was a shit show, but I got through it this week, so
That's good.
I will say that, like, especially with where I work and stuff, sometimes, well, just in general, I think my issue is I make a lot of mistakes for trying to be perfect, and that's something that I'm trying to do better on, and trying not to be too much a perfectionist, even though that's kind of like a double-edged sword when you're working
Right.
at a big I guess, like, company or organization. So
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
well, other than that, I'm good. I'm happy that I'm off today. I wasn't working today, so I got my hours in. I still need to go do some other personal stuff, like get my plaques, because my, like, sticker or whatever that's on my car is about to expire, so I need to go get that done. And then also tomorrow I will be going to a concert with family. So
Hey, at least it's tomorrow and not today.
yeah,
What concert?
the Twice concert, K-pop girl group.
Fun.
Yeah.
There's like so many events going on right now around my area, and I'm just too damn broke to go do it.
Trust me, I know the fucking feeling.
No.
I know the feeling.
One of these days I'm gonna go to Comic-Con, San Diego.
Jesus
Comic-Con.
Christ, I
It's gonna
don't
be a
have the money
bitch.
for that. And it is going to be a bitch.
That would be like a 5-year plan for me.
Yeah, it'd have to be so far in advance. And we're clearly not going to go this year because of obvious reasons. Like almost nobody is going to be showing anything there. So the only reason why you would go this year is literally just to go. I mean, just
well,
to say
also
you've
to
gone
see
Comic-Con
voice
again.
actors, because
Yeah,
voice
that's
actors
different.
and actors. So I mean,
yeah, that's different though. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about like the normal people, the ones that are like the scoopers. They're just going there just to see cosplays and to shop. That's really it.
yeah.
Wait, normal?
You're not going to get any breaking
Wait,
news.
normal people go to Comic-Con? What the fuck?
You'd be surprised how many normal people go to Comic-Con.
Fucking normies. Ew, grody.
Don't be a gatekeeper, Lewis.
I'm kidding.
All right.
I actually just saw something about San Diego Comic-Con, and has me concerned for even less people showing up.
Yeah, I know. Like Warner Brothers is probably not even going to show up. Marvel's not showing up. I don't think Sony's showing up at all.
Marvel's not showing. Disney's not showing. Netflix isn't showing.
Yeah, it's fucking insane, man.
There was like 2 more, and I'm like, what the hell's going to be at Comic-Con this year?
I'm pretty sure
Nothing.
there's literally nothing in the pipeline. That's probably what it is. They fucking
Most likely, yeah.
They throw out all their plans like out like in advance before the summer. So I mean, what
yeah,
else they're gonna
Disney
throw
has
out?
their D23 in November. I think it's November.
Right.
So they usually save a lot of their really, really important stuff for that time.
That makes sense. All right. Well, I mean, he's already talked enough as is. Leon, how's your week?
Busy. I've been staring at my computer non-fucking stop for like the past week. My eyes are sore. But
Give you some eye drops.
Oh yeah, I definitely need some fucking eye drops, but
Put that blue filter on, man.
but it's all for work for starting my new job in September. So
Hey,
right. There you go. Right.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, Allie, Long day. Was it an even longer week?
The face of defeat is just like, I don't want to talk about it, please. And my suffering.
No,
So,
your suffering shall live on, like you.
Life is suffering.
Fair enough.
So I'm officially a permanent employee of Amazon until they decide to fire me.
There you go. That's good.
Yeah, so that's a thing that happened.
Absolutely, yeah.
Honestly, I don't really have much to report. It has been a slow week. I think I spent most of my days off asleep.
I mean,
can't say I blame you.
I mean, most of your busy days will be during the holiday season. So I mean,
Oh yeah.
by the time when we get to almost October, dude, you're gonna be busy.
Well, it's busy right. Well, it's busy right now.
Yeah.
They've got us working an extra hour every day because Prime Week's coming up.
Yeah.
And since our plant is technically a distributor plant, also known as middleman between the different Amazon plants, we get hit busier faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially because I know Prime Day's coming up too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Non me patri fetus spiritus sancti.
Christian, quick, start ordering some fucking business cards again.
Shit, you think Amazon ordered my? You think I ordered my business cards through Amazon? That's fucking hilarious.
No, I know.
Vistaprint, bro. Vistaprint all the
Vistaprint
way.
is the shit. It's expensive, but it's worth it.
I got 500. I got 500 for like $40.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ!
it's nothing. Yeah, it's absolutely nothing. Yeah. I mean, I got 100 for like 30. It was nothing. It was great, and it took like a week to get here. It was not. So it was such a short waiting time. I loved it. By the way, this video is not this live stream is not sponsored at all
by Amazon
or Amazon or anything, any product that we bring up. We don't have sponsors yet, but if you guys make sure that we do, I would. Anyways, all right.
We would love that.
I am actually looking forward to Monday because I start DMing a new campaign.
Heck yeah!
Okay, there we go. We need to actually all sit down and finally fucking discuss ours.
We also need to finish that episode.
But this fucker to the left or to the right of me has no fucking time, or at least no sense of time. Nah, I'm kidding. We all love him. We love to shit on him, but we love him anyways.
I'm ready. We're just waiting for the episode. Christian.
Suck a dick. Anyways,
I have a girlfriend. I have a job now. So
Hey, you're probably coughing too much because you did. Anyways, sorry, really bad congestion. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, because
I think COVID's coming back, guys.
Yeah, I think COVID is coming back. I think it's starting with us too. We don't even know how the fuck that happened. So, anyways, alrighty then. So going from
we're professionals and we're family, so chaos.
Exactly, we're a professional family. Wait, hold on. Sorry. We're a dysfunctional family.
Professional family.
Oh,
Alan, my
for sure.
Exactly. Alrighty then. So going from our benign bullshit of how our life is going, let's go into our actual news.
Now, hold on.
Whoa! No, we're not skipping you. How was your week, Christian?
How was your week?
Yeah, Christian.
Anyways, on to now showing. No.
This is not how this works, motherfucker.
I'm kidding. Anyways, so my week was actually not that bad. I did finally fucking started my job Friday. I got the orientation out of the way. It was supposed to be 2-day orientation, but because I already showed up one day, they told me, look, you've done your one day. The next day is literally just learning shit that you can learn at the actual facility that you're going to be working at. So you're whatever. So I've been working for the past 2 days. Made actually some pretty decent money just based off of mileage and tips. So that's not too bad. I think yesterday I only worked 3 hours, and between mileage and tips, I think I made about $39. And then today I made about $55. So, and that's working from 10 to 5. So that's working a 7-hour shift right there. If I would have worked another hour, A, the podcast would have been late, but B, if I worked another hour, it actually would not have been. I think I probably could have knocked out like $60 to $75 because Saturday nights are like the busiest, and if I can work a shift tomorrow, I would, but I'm gonna give it a rest because I need to chill out on my gas. Holy shit, do I need to chill out on my gas? And I'll probably just do a couple Ubers and stuff like that, just to get a little bit of money here and there.
Gas is expensive, man.
Gas is crazy, man, and I wish Uber would give me something. Yeah, that'd be nice. But no, they ain't give me shit. It's like, oh, what's that? You want to pay for gas and you want to actually like eat? Nah, bitch. Do you get enough money for gas and eating? No, then suffer. That's essentially the Uber way. It just no, I'm kidding. Love Uber. I'm not trying to get fired. Whatever. Yada yada yada. Though, granted, if I get fired,
Uber fires people.
I don't.
They do.
I think they do. Yeah.
They blacklist you from ever. Just
working for them again, yeah. And if you get blacklisted by Uber, good luck trying to do anything else.
Seriously.
Yeah, honestly.
I think you have to screw up pretty bad for that to happen, though.
Yeah, like, you have to touch the no square of a rider or something like that. You know, I think that's what you got to do, or you gotta say some really bad shit for a rider to tell you.
Just be careful of the ones that like decide to cancel mid trip. Just be careful of those people. They're out
the ones that like to cancel. Yeah, I haven't gotten them yet. I'm sure they are. I haven't really had a bad Uber yet. I've had a couple bad Uber Eats, and that's just because I could not find their apartment to save the life of me.
Yeah,
and it's annoying. And I'm having that same issue with Domino's. I've had that happen like 3 times in the past 2 days, and I hate it. I hate apartments, man. Apartments
are probably the worst part of it.
Don't get me wrong.
To you, those places, Texas apartments can be crazy to try to navigate if you're not.
They're insane, man. I mean, like the ones that are like at least numbered by building, I get it. But I went to one that it was like each building had their own sets of 100s and 200s.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, what the, huh? And so like, yeah, you have to look for building 25. I looked for building 25. I went to every single apartment that I could have within that vicinity that was that number, and I got told no, wrong door. Enough to where the writer had to basically come out and say, hey,
where's the shit?
Yeah, no, they had to come out and say, hey, I'm right over here. Next time if that happens, you know where to go. And I'm like, I'd be surprised if I remember this experience at all. I didn't tell him that, but I pretty much will be. Anyways, so job's going okay. I get my official set schedule I should get it by tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow evening, but it might be like some random ass time tonight. I don't know. Anyways, so like I was trying to say earlier, for my benign bullshit that isn't really news, it's just a way for us to get talking. We're gonna go into our actual news, and we're gonna go ahead and head over to Now Showing. Now Showing this week we have the Jennifer Lawrence raunchy rom-com that feels like it was written in 2005 and probably had a lot of dust on that damn script. No hard feelings. And of course, we also have the newest Wes Anderson movie, Asteroid City, which I really want to go see it. All right, so going, let's at least briefly talk about No Hard Feelings. Give it a chance.
Give it a chance.
I've already said my piece, so anybody else go ahead.
Okay. You sound like a parent talking about the youngest child.
No. That's the middle child. That's the middle child. Assuming we remember who the middle child is.
I will say, she just did Hot Ones like a few days ago, and from what I've heard from critics, it's really not a bad comedy.
No,
it's
I heard
really not a bad
really
romantic
safe.
comedy.
Yeah, I've heard it just plays it dangerously safe. That's the problem I have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's very safe and predictable, but if you're just looking for something like that, then go right ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, these days, predictable is something that doesn't get seen very often. People are always trying to be the next big thing. So having something be predictable is kind of a good thing.
It's a little nice refresher, I guess.
Right. Yeah, and when I saw the interview with Hot Ones, she talked about they talked about how it's kind of a little bit different. It's not like kind of like your typical rom-com. Like obviously, like every single different rom-com has like their own style and flair, and this one is no different than any other rom-com and stuff. But no, I've heard nothing but I think good things about this movie itself.
I've heard mid and decent.
Yeah,
those are the 2 biggest words I've heard. And honestly, that kind of doesn't surprise me. Yeah. It's getting. I've heard it's not the worst thing you could go see, but it's clearly not going to change anything.
Yeah, no, like I'm not saying like it's the best like rom-com to ever come out since this year, but
like,
no,
honestly,
no,
I think even the premise is basically failure to launch.
Yeah,
with younger people. I mean, that's essentially the whole that's the whole premise. I mean, it's literally failure to launch with younger people.
Yeah. All right, for me, I'm kind of picky with my rom-coms because they're like some of the stories don't work very well as a rom-com, but they portray it as a rom-com. So I'm really picky. This one does look interesting, but also, yeah, like you said, looks decent. I won't go out of my way to go see it, but I'll probably watch it.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it too. Like, I won't go out of my way to watch it in the movie theaters, but if wherever it comes out, or if someone, whether that be my family or friends, decide, hey, we want to watch this, I'll watch it.
Yeah, but it's one of those, like, I'm not gonna deny watching it. It's not. It's just gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember when that came out. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I'll give it a shot. You know, I'll give it a shot, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to like.
Oh no!
I need to see this in the movie theater. Like,
no, and I mean, I kind of did that with The Flash, but not necessarily. I was just like, I mean, I got a day. Comes out tonight. I'm free. I got nothing else planned. I got a little bit of money. Let's go see it. That's essentially how I saw The Flash. You know, I didn't go out of my way to go see it.
Yeah.
You know, Elemental, I haven't even seen yet.
Which I probably, now that I've heard about.
Hold on, that's later in the show.
It's later in the movie. It's later in the show for sure.
I'll skip ahead to the script.
Ali, what do you feel about like rom-coms in general, but just this in particular rom-com?
My life is a failed rom-com. Come on.
Let's be perfectly honest. Yeah. She's the supporting best friend that gets like little to no screen time, but has enough memorable moments. Has enough memorable moments that we remember her. That's the thing.
And, give Ali some credit. Come on. Like, she,
I feel like everyone's life is either a failure or a successful rom-com. In some capacity.
Oh, no, I don't disagree with that statement at all. I definitely know mine's for sure, at least. It's a failure on the brink of success, but we're not there yet. It's teetering up there. It's like, here's success, here's where I am. And it's just, every now and then it does this, but, just ever so close.
Yeah. That's mine. But no, I've seen the trailers pop up on YouTube all over every so often. I've got no interest.
Yeah. I'm not going to go out of my way. If somebody's like, oh yeah, let's watch this, I'd be like, okay. Sure.
I mean, I'll watch it, but
yeah,
it won't impact as much as,
know. Like, love to Jennifer Lawrence, but not this movie for me.
All right, so on to the one that I know Lewis and I at least want to go see, the newest Wes Anderson film, Asteroid City. You want to talk about a stacked cast?
Oh, it is
holy
fucking stacked, bro! I was dying when I saw the trailer for the first time. Oh man, this is gonna be such a good movie.
It feels like we, and what's funny is he actually did do another movie called The French Dispatch. I just never went on my way to go see it, and I'm just like, well, this feels like a proper Wes Anderson movie. It feels like it's properly marketed. There's really only one trailer, about maybe one or two posters, and that's it. And that's all you need to do for a Wes Anderson movie.
I mean, also it's space. Like, everybody is always curious. Not everybody, but like majority of the population is always curious about space. So I mean, who's not going to go and want to see?
And it's set, and I think if I remember correctly, it's set in the 50s.
Yeah, which makes it even more entertaining.
And I love it. I love that. Like, obviously my first introduction to Wes Anderson was Fantastic Mr. Fox. And then I eventually I wanted to go see 100%. Isle of Dogs really, really bad. And then I eventually watched it. I'm like, I don't hate this, but I would much rather watch Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I still yet to see Isle of Dogs.
I was on like Hulu or something when I watched it. That was years ago.
I know I fell in love with Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh yeah, man, Fantastic Mr. Fox is great.
It just reminded me of all the other like claymations and stop motions that were out and stuff and whatnot.
Yeah. So I mean, it's one of those things, and then of course I stumbled upon the Royal Tenenbaums on TV. I absolutely fell in love with it. It was hilarious. Like my favorite line in that is like, "Oh, I don't hate you. I just think you're a son of a bitch." And I'm like, that's so Wes Anderson. I love that.
That's a good line.
I have tried and failed on multiple attempts to watch Steve Zissou. I just can't get through it. Like as much as I like Wes Anderson, I like his style. For whatever reason, Steve Zissou is boring to me. I don't know what it is. I like the cast. The cast is comedically overfilled, and like the fact that Jeff Goldblum is in there, it makes me fucking laugh. But I'm just like, this is so boring. Yeah, maybe one of these days I'll eventually watch it.
I think it's just one of those problems where it's like, not to go into too much of a tangent, but like, I think you overcast or you over like.
I think he overwrites. Sometimes he does overwrite to the nth degree, and it shows. Like I would say, Roland Tenenbaums is more of it's like, okay, you have a good idea and a premise, go with that and see how far you can make it comedic or dramatic. And then of course from there you have Steve Zissou, and it's like you have an idea. Not necessarily a premise, but you have an idea, and you're going to see how far you can go with said idea. And don't get me wrong, gorgeous cinematography. That's the one thing I will always give Wes Anderson. Like, no matter how good or bad his movies are, you can always guarantee really good, almost obnoxiously OCD cinematography, and just like really interesting ways of expositing.
Yeah,
the exposition is great.
The shots from the trailer, I thought they were very, very well done.
Oh yeah,
especially with marketing, like marketing strategy in general. I think he did a very good job on like with certain shots and certain sequences, like trying to. Like obviously, like now with trailers, it's kind of hard to not give away the whole entire plot. But I mean, he did a good job to kind of like vaguely like tell you.
I think
where it's going.
He's one of those few directors that actually is in the editing room when they are editing together a trailer, whereas a lot of other directors do not. Like I think Nolan is one of them. I know for a fact Nolan is, because there's no way he isn't.
Yeah.
Because like those never give away the plot.
Right.
You have to guess. I mean, with Oppenheimer, you could probably guess where it's going, but you don't know where it's going to end. So that's why I'm excited for Oppenheimer. And I know everybody overpraises Christopher Nolan. Fine, whatever, but you got to admit, the dude, like, okay, literally, I'm gonna quote Harry Potter here. Love him or hate him, you got to admit he's got style. And that's what Wes Anderson is. So I would say I'm super excited to try and see this. I'm not going to go, I have to stop everything to go see this.
I'm not going to go right away, but like I will make the time for it.
I will make the time to go see this movie. Absolutely. And I think I'm going to like it. And just the comedically overstacked cast. I love that. That's great. That is so good. And it's great, and the other thing I will say about Wes Anderson, there's not many movies like his.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about in like acting, style, fucking like definitely set design for sure.
Oh yeah.
100%. Like I would say there's no movie like a Wes Anderson.
I can't imagine like this like movie, especially because of how we're both excited. I think the budget's pretty big. Not too big, but just not like too ridiculous.
Bigger for a Wes Anderson, but I don't
not
think
too ridiculous. But like like I feel like it's like a good quality budget of like they made sure to like.
It's Wes Anderson. Who's going to say no to Wes Anderson?
Well, I mean, you got to consider when Family Guy did their Peter Gets Fired thing, they picked 3 different directors to parody. Wes Anderson was one of them.
Quentin Tarantino and Michael Bay.
Yeah.
And I love that episode. That episode, like, as much as I would argue Family Guy has gone on way too damn long, every now and then they come out with a gem. Yeah. And like that episode is so clever. I love that. It's the way that they like they show the director's strengths and how over the top it can be. And it's like, and they take it a step further, and it's like perfect. Like I love the whole, like it has that ridiculous ass like crotch underneath the crotch around him, and like it for the Michael Bay thing, and it's like this already doesn't make sense, and I'm like, yes, I love it, explosion. Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm like, that's Michael Bay, like that's so fucking Michael. And of course, like with Wes Anderson, it shows like a little model train. You see like all the text you hear the typing of a typewriter. I'm like, that's Wes Anderson. And then with Tarantino, it's just like. It looks like a Grindhouse movie. I love that. I love that.
So long, but I remember that episode. I love that episode.
That episode was great. I'm sorry, it really was. That episode got me to laugh so many different times. Not like laugh out loud, like I'm holding my gut saying it hurts, but more along the lines of like, Okay, that was that's essentially what I was doing. So many times in that episode, it's not even funny. I can't even agree on which director I like more. Like I like the comedic element of how they do Michael Bay, but I think probably the strongest one is Tarantino. I'm sorry, it's just
I feel like Tarantino is just too easy. It's just
yeah. But yeah,
there's always some episodes, no matter what show, if there's some good comedy in it, it's gonna make you laugh every time.
Oh, exactly. Like, and
I don't know how many times I've watched like Drake and Josh for one. I laugh every fucking episode. I've seen that series like 10, 12 times.
If you tell me that you laugh with Full House, I have judgment. And it's not good judgment.
Now, what do you consider laughing?
Anything above a chuckle.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay, I'm good too.
Now, here's the next one. Anything above a chuckle for Friends.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say anything above a chuckle with Fuller House, because
Fuller House is dog shit. Everybody knows that. But
I honestly wasn't a fan of Friends.
I like Seinfeld better. I'm sorry, Seinfeld is 10 times more interesting.
I'm not gonna
because they're all assholes.
Yeah.
Whereas with Friends, they're unintentionally assholes. Yeah. With Seinfeld, they're intentionally assholes, and that's what I love about it. But yeah, that's a whole fucking side note.
Like,
be sure to check out Asteroid City or No Hard Feelings. We got so off topic. Or No Hard Feelings this weekend in theaters.
Leon, Alley, do y'all have any comments about like the trailer? If y'all saw the Asteroid City and stuff?
Ironically, I haven't seen any trailers for Asteroid City.
It's not going to show up on your YouTube blog or your YouTube ads. You're going to have to go see a movie in order to see the trailer.
Yeah,
I don't go to movies.
There you go.
I've seen the trailer. Lewis sent it to me. It does look great.
I mean, it's Wes Anderson. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna go out of my way to see it, but I'll probably watch.
I'll definitely see it for like a matinee price for sure. If I have the time and I have enough money left over, I'll be like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. That's gonna be my thing. Like if I go like on a Tuesday, let's say Tuesday morning or something, or like a Tuesday early showing, I'll be like, yeah, sure, fuck it, why not? See it for $5, get a small thing of popcorn, get a large drink, which granted, yeah, all that fun stuff. Boom, I'm good.
It usually depends with my movie theater because the movie theater I normally go to is kind of small, so there's not very many shows.
Right.
It will show. Like if I wanted to go to a bigger one, I'd have to go to like 2 towns over, which is like almost 2 hours away.
Yeah, and honestly, you have to really want to go see a movie in order to go that far.
Yeah.
I can't say I blame you.
On Tuesday, I just so happened having to go to the next town over because I have to do some music for a funeral. So while my mom does her thing, I'm gonna go see the new Transformers.
I can't say I blame you on that one. I do want to go see it eventually, but I'll probably catch it on streaming or something. Eventually.
Going to the movies is I have to mentally prepare myself because I can't deal with that many people.
That's why I always recommend going at like either the earliest or the second earliest time.
Yeah.
Go on a random day in the middle of the week. You will not have to deal with that.
And even they like I plan it during the weekday at least, like on a Friday. Because I know on a Friday it's not going to be as packed as a Saturday or Sunday. So
no, but if it's a movie opening, then yes, that Friday will be packed.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time Avatar was actually in theaters, it was so compact. I had there was people sitting on the floor.
Holy shit! Christ. Really?
So they oversold tickets?
No.
Oh, people snuck in?
I don't know if probably people did sneak in.
That'd be my best guess.
One of my I had one of my friends basically sitting on my lap.
Yeah, I remember when I went to go see Way of Water, I had a middle seat. And this is the second or third row in the theater, and so we're my buddy and I are seeing in IMAX in 3D, right?
This was the first Avatar in 3D.
Yeah. So what's crazy about it is I had a dead center seat, Like I was set on it. And these two girls, they came up and they're like, "Hey, look, the only seats we could get were on the opposite ends of you two." And I said, "Okay, I paid for this seat." And she goes, "Well, I really want to sit next to my friend. Do you think you can swap seats with me?" And I just rolled my eyes and I said, "Sure, why not?" And then, of course, lo and behold, one of them was on their phone 90% of the fucking movie. And I'm like, yo, like, I see the fucking flash. You know, like, quit messaging people in the fucking movie. I get it's a 3-hour movie. Trust me, there were times where I was checking my damn watch too. But Jesus Christ, I wasn't checking my phone and responding to Snapchat, who refuses to give us a fucking dark mode.
That's what I don't understand about like going to the movies. Like if you paid,
why pay that much money just to do something that you would do at home anyways? Why?
Right.
That makes no sense. Like, just save the money and just watch it at home at that point.
Or don't watch it at all. Or
exactly.
Don't watch it.
Exactly. And it's like, it's one of the, I mean, I get it. Avatar is one of those movies, you don't have to be like sitting there paying attention to every fucking detail. No.
I feel like people are just doing it to fill their Snapchats. That's all I will, that's all I have to say about it. Like,
yeah, and I hate that. Like, here's the thing. In my opinion, if theaters start saying, "Hey, before you walk in this theater, give us your phone," I would think perfectly fine with that.
I mean, I'm fine with it, but there's going to be a lot of people who are going to fucking write
bitch and moan about it. Be like, all right, cool. Well, if you don't want to give us your phone, we will give you a refund, and you will not see this movie.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye.
Or they want
to. I would applaud theaters if they started doing that.
Will do that.
I'd be like, here you go, man.
I actually think some theaters actually do that. But...
I think very small theaters do, but none of like the big chains. If like AMC started doing that, if they started implementing, it's like, look, you can keep your smartwatch or whatever, and you can grab your phone at the end of the movie, but you know, like they'll have like a special way of like whenever you print off your ticket, it gives you a sticker, and that's what you do. You scan, like you basically say, "Hey, here's my number," and they look for it, and they're like, "Okay, here's your phone." Yeah. Like if they start doing that, I mean, yeah, it's extra work on the fucking workers. I get it. I understand how it's annoying, but it's just one of those things. It's like, look, it's annoying on y'all's part, but it saves you so much less complaints. Like, honestly, it's not a bad idea. Yeah, I get it. People are going to be like, well, you can't take my property away from me. It's like,
and also
we can do it.
Other thing of like, you don't know if like that worker who's working there doesn't want to be there, and then they're going to try to steal the phones too. That's another issue that I can see happening. Not everybody's going to be like that, but like that's one issue that I feel like a lot of people are going to be worried about.
What somebody would bring up, but that's such a rare case because it's like, dude, if you're already that ready to get fired, just fucking quit. Like seriously, just quit.
Yeah.
Quitting looks better on your resume than fired. So,
and charged with stealing too. So I mean,
So, anyways, random side note about fucking annoying ass phones. So we're gonna go ahead and go from talking about movie theaters to basically talking about we're gonna go to well, I'm not gonna talk about more movie theaters, but we are gonna talk about a particular character that did just have a movie that came out on digital. Disc and digital, and it was okay. It played it way too dangerously safe. But anyways, Nintendo Direct happened.
I will say people were not expecting about this Nintendo Direct. No one thought.
No one was.
The stuff that was going to be announced. No one thought that this shit was going to come out. So
no, exactly. But we are going to mostly be focusing on the Mario news. And I'm going to go ahead and let my second in command take over for that because I was not present for that discussion.
Yeah, so two specific topics about Mario. 2 Mario games have been announced. The first major one that everybody lost their minds of, who played it before I did, it was Mario RPG. So they're having a remake of Mario RPG, as a lot of people in the community know that love the original Mario RPG. I think it had a lot of problems, and then it went to a point to where the community decided to start basically modding the whole entire game to make it a little bit better. And then everybody, ever since just a frequent amount of like Nintendo Directs, and they started doing that more often and whatnot, everybody's been waiting for some form of new Mario game. And people were shocked, and I think it's very, very pretty. I've seen old school Let's Players play Mario RPG. I think Nintendo did a very good job cleaning up the game in general and making it look amazing as it did. For sure, a lot of people are. I know 100%. A lot of people and a lot of streamers and a lot of Let's Players are going to be playing this game 100% again, just to see all the new graphics, the new things that they've cleaned up with the game. And I think this game's going to have like a new like reinsurgence of new fans and people who haven't played it. So
especially the people that have like heard of Mario RPG but have never been able to get a chance to play it for one reason or another. This way you now can, and it'll be with better graphics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. And then what was the second announcement?
The second one was something that I think, besides Mario RPG itself being a big shocker, a new Mario 2D like game, a brand new 2D
like Paper Mario, basically.
No, Super Mario. No,
Super Mario 2D.
Oh,
a new one.
Yeah.
So with a new twist. So they have done a very good job. A lot of people have been pointing this out everywhere in social media. They did a very good job with the animation. They changed the Mario style to where it's not too changing, like too different to where you like kind of like mispleased of like, oh, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel like a Mario game. No, this really feels like a Mario game, but a new HD, which is a lot of people are calling it and using that phrase of like newer, clearer style of Mario. And I like it. I have no complaints on it besides, I mean, probably the premise of the game. I think a lot of people are kind of like still iffy about the premise of the game. But other than that, I think everything that they showed with I think it was like Super Mario Wonder, I think is what it's called, if I remember correctly off the top of my head.
I don't remember, but I think something like that.
I think they did a good job in releasing this. They did. I can see a few nods from a bunch of the old games, the old school games. They did a lot of new things too. A lot of people also, because of the title of it and because of the new item that's in the game, I think it's called the Wonder Flower, which makes it like, quote unquote, everybody was like, so what was Nintendo really thinking about making that Wonder Flower? Because it looks like everybody's on an acid trip. Look, Mario, you're playing Mario on an acid trip, basically. So Mario, in a sense of, they're always changing different the scenery. So like, let's say you hit the Wonder Flower, the pipes start coming alive and it starts going up and down. The music changes, starts getting colorful, and everybody's like, yeah, I kind of see the reference of why people are saying this is like a fucking acid trip, because it's wonder. So I mean, and then the shocking part about it is always with the new Super Mario like 2D games, there's always a new mushroom. I think the last mushroom was like the gigantic big yellow mushroom that made Mario basically almost fill the whole entire screen on the DS game.
And then stomp over everything.
Yeah, stomp over everything. Like a fucking Titan giant.
No, the newest power-up, if I remember correctly, was the cat.
Well, yeah, that's the cat, but at the same time, no one talks about that series. But anyway, the newest power-up, which is Elephant Mario, which is fucking hilarious and insane.
I heard about that.
And
I also heard about it. I saw the transformation. Like, oh yeah, look, this new mushroom makes Mario go Republican. Like, I heard that. I was like, okay, that's actually
the 2D side-scroller Mario is also a 4-player co-op. You can play as Mario, Luigi,
different types of
Peach,
color
and Daisy.
Daisy for the first time in a long time. Daisy is now a playable character. So a lot of people are excited for that. And just kind of like a side note before we move on, they also decided to announce another single-player game for Super Princess Peach. So that's another new game that has been announced and come out that I forgot.
That's a title I haven't heard of in a long time.
That was an old school game, I think in either...
Yeah, that was 2D. 2DS.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they made a new one.
Wait a second. That is a name I haven't heard in some time. Of course I know it. It's
me. So yeah, a lot of people are excited about that game too, and are kind of curious, even though that kind of like Nintendo kind of like teased them, like, okay, we're gonna show you a sneak peek, and then they just show like Princess Peach basically almost transforming, and they're like, all right, we showed you enough. All right, we're just gonna cut you off right there. You know.
I mean, it's a Mario type game. All Mario games have done really well. Everyone's always excited for a Mario game.
I think like from what I've been hearing from a lot of people and from all the skits and all the dumb things that people are coming out with, they're like, wow, this year Nintendo really kicked everybody's asses. No offense to like also Microsoft, which they did a fantastic job. They had like a really solid,
a really good showcase too.
Yeah.
But everybody's been doing really solid.
But for some reason, a lot of people are giving it up to Nintendo this year because of the announcements, especially with the 3 Mario.
A lot of people are saying Nintendo is being really, really quote unquote ballsy because of I believe it's the 2D Mario game is supposed to come out around the same time as Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, wow.
Something that needs to be considered is this is going to be the first time they've had games come out since quarantine.
True.
That is true. Yeah. This is kind of the first year since because the only thing that they had when quarantine ended first was honestly Mario. The Mario movie. That's really all they had. I mean, they had a couple of development notes, but that's really it. Like the only game that came out like peak COVID was Animal Crossing. I mean, they had a few more games that came out since then, but nothing that got like a huge amount of showcase. Like I remember the biggest thing was, well, also because they got. Let's be fair. And Nintendo's never been one to not be ballsy when it comes to like a big expected game release, and they're like, "Oh yeah, here's our thing too."
Yeah,
Like, did everybody simultaneously forget Doom Crossing Eternal Horizons?
Yeah,
but like these companies are seeing this as a situation where they can potentially lose profits from previous years where nobody had anything to do outside of the house.
Yeah,
exactly. You know, so I get it.
They're going to be coming out of course, they're going to be coming out the gate with, "Oh hey, this."
Yeah, but also this is one of those things that like I think they've been keeping secret for who knows how long, especially because of well, I think the last game was like Mario Odyssey, like the biggest game that like literally affected the community. And and that was like a 3D platformer, like kind of like almost like a free roam RPG kind of style.
Almost, yeah. It was so close. I think that was them probably testing the waters with an RPG.
Yeah,
see what they could do.
Like I'm not even singling out Nintendo on this. Like all the game companies are.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So
no, I don't disagree. Well, so these guys used to get, unless you guys have any more thought processes on these new Nintendo games.
I mean, all I say is I got to give applaud to Nintendo. They as much as like I've seen all the directs, but for me personally, as someone who grew up with Nintendo and grew up with all three companies, parent companies, and playing all their games, Nintendo this year, I think they just hit it out of the park this year. I give a win. I give a win Nintendo because no one was expecting Mario RPG anytime soon, and even more a new 2D Mario game like this.
All I gotta say is I'm getting them.
Shut up and take my money, Nintendo.
As soon as I get a Nintendo OLED, or as soon as I get a Switch OLED, I will definitely be starting to get some more games for sure. But by the time that I have money for that, will definitely be the only time I will have money for anything else. So. Don't get me wrong, I'm still getting MK1. I have that pre-ordered. I'll actually have enough money to the side. All that fun shit, and then hopefully I'll have it paid off. Like I will definitely be playing MK1 as soon as it comes out. Like if I disappear suddenly, either A, I'm dead, or B, I'm probably playing Mortal Kombat 1. I won't be disappear for more than a few days though. I remember when I got MK11, I beat that shit in a day. It was 3 days, but still, it was super easy.
And also, that's not including all the DLC shit that's gonna come out.
Oh no, I finished the DLC within like a day.
No, but I'm saying like the new Mortal Kombat one. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a shit ton of fucking 100%. DLC too.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, going from family friendly Nintendo games, we're gonna go to something that is dear to this family's heart,
and fucking,
but not exactly family friendly. But it's about damn time. Smosh has officially been bought by Anthony Padilla and I forget the other one's name.
Ian Hecox.
Ian Hecox. I forget his name all the time, but yes, Ian Hecox and Anthony Padilla has bought the actual Smosh brand, and they are going to be taking
again from Red and Link. So
yeah.
So the major news about this is that in a certain point, Sam, they've done a bunch of like videos now explaining this, but just long story short, Anthony has gone through a massive change ever since he left. He needed to leave for a lot of other personal reasons and stuff. You can go watch it on YouTube for the more full depth explanation. Right. But he was at a point now, both him and Ian, to where, hey, what if we actually, buy back Smosh and, like turn this shit around after getting fucked by their parent company, And they were like, this is like this. I've been thinking about this for quite a while. I think we should do it. And lo and behold, Red and Link said yes. They, and I think kudos to, Red and Link for helping them out because they really needed it, especially after, one of the biggest, like, I guess, like scandals when it came to.
Oh yeah, they were part of that massive MLM, right?
Yeah, so they were part of the very first ever like massive scandal of getting fucked over by selling their own company. Out of all the YouTubers, they were the first ones to do it.
Not MLM, but like joint channels, basically, yes. Where it's like you have your parent, and then they own all these channels and brands. And if you stick with the brand, you're great. If you don't, you're cut.
Yeah.
I remember. I forget. There were so many YouTubers that did. A lot of gaming YouTubers did it as well,
and they all failed.
They all failed, and that's the problem. Like a few still stayed around. Like obviously your PewDiePie, your Jacksepticeye, your Markiplier, all of them stayed around. But and of course a few others to name a few. But that's just to name a few. I'm happy that these guys have bought back their channel because, in all honesty, when Anthony left, I kind of lost a lot of interest. I
think a lot of people
a little bit. And in all honesty, I was starting to lose interest before Anthony left. I think personally, it just became way too streamlined.
And it wasn't just that. I think it was also the fact of like going back to the videos, but I'll get in touch a little bit of information of it. It was mostly Defy. Like honestly, the parent company Defy.
Defy.
They okay. So they did say that. Anthony and Ian did say like they love the opportunities. Like don't get them wrong. Like they love the opportunities of making their own like very first movie.
Yeah,
their very first video game, doing animated shorts, being able to do a lot of creative things, but also at the same time didn't account for their parent company to screw them over royally.
Nobody really just expected Defy to fall through as quickly as they did.
And also they didn't. I mean, most of it was like stock share holding. So I mean, at that time, that was still in its infancy. So I mean, how would they know that shit would
No, I don't blame any of the channels that joined it at all. I really don't. I mean, it was definitely a big opportunity. I mean, I remember for the longest time I wanted to have joined channels because it'd be like, oh yeah, here's our parent brand. But you are part of it. Kind of like I remember Channel Awesome did that a lot.
Yeah.
Where they had so many freaking reviewers, and it got to the point where it's like, well, look, we can only do so much, and of course, there's other personal stuff that happened with that as well. But that's like a good mirror example of like they weren't really they weren't like Defy Media, which was stocks. They were just like, hey, we're all a part of the same. We're under the same brand. You are a part of this.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever we ask you, hey, we're gonna do like a 10-year anniversary or whatever, we're gonna all come together. We're gonna make something. So like it used to be movies, or it used to be like a special, like a 30-minute special, and those were great.
Well, Doug's even gone on record with that Channel Awesome and saying we got too big too fast.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. That was their biggest problem, and also they're kind of like. I wouldn't say gatekeeping of the information, but I would definitely say something along the lines of like they weren't really like I remember a lot of people were pointing out stuff to like Malcolm and Tamara and Doug and even Rob. And what it came down to is they all basically said the same response, which was read.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing, it wasn't Spoonie, it was somebody was like had a shitload of allegations against them, and then they ended up killing himself. So there was that whole debacle, and they were trying to get like a statement. Basically, it's like, hey, what is y'all's thought process on it? And they would basically at that point they'd already posted whatever the baseline apology was from Channel Awesome, and they just said read. That was their only response, and that hurt them a little bit. It really did.
Well, in fairness, that could have just been them trying to say we're trying to get past it.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to move on.
They were just trying to say, hey, look, like we get it, we get that people want information, but either we can't legally talk about it right now, because I remember a lot of it was taken to court, or B, it was just one of those things like, look, we don't want to talk about it because it could cost us our jobs.
Yeah.
Because it's not Doug is not the head of the whole thing. Neither is Rob. It's I forget what his name is, but apparently he's not the greatest of guys either. It's just one of those things. And of course there's just it was such a big thing that they were doing it so early on in the infancy of YouTube that it's like, of course, they got too big too fast.
I mean that's the reason why Smosh, Rooster Teeth, and all these other like creators that I can
blew up, and
they
then
blew
they
up so
just
quickly because
of
of the fact of like the era of internet was still so fresh and new, and like YouTube was still the only place that you could basically, that was your safe haven. Like even though there was like so many messed up like different rules, and they were going back and forth.
2015 was the beginning of the snowball effect.
Yeah.
And I think I think anybody that's been around, at least watched YouTube or been around YouTube, 2015 was the adpocalypse. There was a reason why there was that phrase going around. And ever since YouTube became a quote unquote public and ad safe, advertiser safe, Google bought it. And honestly, I don't blame Google for buying it. It's a really smart business decision.
It is.
And I get it. If there's anybody in the entire world that could have run YouTube as well as anything, it would have been Google.
Yeah.
But of course, Google corporatized it a little too much, and that's ultimately what happened. Yeah. So,
but anyways, back to them rebuying Smosh. They did. Sorry for cutting you, Allie. Go ahead.
Well, I was about to bring it back.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
It is good to see these old creators taking back what they created.
Yes.
Building it again.
And they did say that, just for future reference, so people don't think that they're just gonna try to recreate their magic. No. They said that they're going to do skits. Now, obviously, with the new changes of YouTube and how
they can't do the old school skits,
how skits and like
Holy
all that
shit,
all that
skits.
and all of our favorite skits and stuff. They're like, we don't want to do that. We're gonna do something brand new. We're gonna
come up
fresh,
with new original ideas.
They also started doing a kind of membership like all the other like YouTube creators are doing. Actually, I looked at the prices. They're really actually not that bad. On according to all the other creators that I follow, they're really actually affordable. And they're mostly wanting the community driven. So like if you're gonna support Smosh and you want to see like some of their new skits with Ian and Anthony, that's where that stuff is gonna be in the membership, because it's obviously a safer place now. And I think that was a good idea on a part of YouTube too, of having memberships, because I think honestly, if I'm being honest, like subscribers is just a number now. Like if I'm being honest, it's just a number, and I think
there is no income with it anymore.
And I think like even before even that problem occurred, you had Patreon, and like even then, not a lot of people want to use Patreon. There's nothing wrong with Patreon, but I think if you're going to be
things wrong with Patreon.
But like I digress. But like what I'm trying to get at is like if you're going to be in a company, whether that be YouTube, Twitch, or whatever, Kick or whatever. You want that platform to have all the tools necessary for you to be successful. So I think that was a good idea on YouTube's part to make membership, and I think that saves you a lot of the hassle of going to another different parent site, like like Patreon, and then you could just use YouTube at itself, and it's an all one inclusive tool. So that way you don't have to like stress about, making a new password and doing all these other extra stuff, which I'm assuming there's probably is a password stuff, but like, I feel like it's just a lot easier that, and
Yeah.
I'm glad that they're back. I think that they are taking the next step in the right direction of their channel. Ian and Anthony, well, Ian himself said the Small channel has been struggling for what they've been wanting to do. Not to say like, honestly, some of their content that they've have released, even when Anthony has left, like with the kind of funerals, I've enjoyed that very well. I know a lot of people haven't because they still like kind of like, well, I want to the nostalgia factor, but I'm glad that they're going to bring back a bunch of the skits. I'm glad that they're not going to just. They said that they're not going to just be towards all the old fans. They're going to put like some Easter eggs from the classic Smosh, but they're also going to make it fresh and brand new. So that way it's not the copy and paste type thing. And it's not just nostalgia. They want it to feel organic. They want it to feel new, fresh, to also pay homage to both sides, both new fans of Smosh and old fans of Smosh. I know in the announcement video, they also had Ian's mom back, which I'm like, holy crap, she's fucking old as hell.
Yeah,
and
she wasn't like, young when they did the original videos. True,
either, but I'm like, damn, Ian's mom has fucking aged specifically from Food Wars and stuff. So I'm like, damn, that's awesome. I was laughing my butt off when I was not expecting Ian's mom to come make her return, but that was hilarious.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, that's good that they're going back.
Yeah, I'm glad they got their stuff back. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Alex.
props to Rhett and Link for being willing to hold on to the domain for them.
Yeah, I mean they, it's kind of like a no-brainer. They're how are they not going to understand? They're the Rhett and Link are also like with Smosh on like they were the pioneers of the beginnings of creating your own thing. So they, what better way and better, a good kind of like luck that Smosh was able to be bought by Rhett and Link because they're creator made, and I think, even though like they're not part of like mythical like
Good Mythical Morning.
Just Good Mythical, the company itself anymore. I still think that they will still be probably most likely doing more like partnerships with each other. I'm pretty sure that they're like when the video came out of that they bought Smosh, they did say that Rhett and Link did not want to focus on the business side. They're like, we're going to worry about the business side later. We just want to we want to more focus on the creative side of like, what do you guys want? Like, what are some things that you are wanting from us in itself? So
I will say this: best Rhett and Link and Smosh crossover of all time. Philosophers of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of epic rap battles in history.
I still love their try not to laugh where they brought Rhett and Link to try not to laugh. Oh, that was hilarious. Seeing them try to do improv.
No, the things that I missed was movies versus reality. I hated that the series never went as far as it could have, and it was so funny.
Oh, if movies are real?
No, not if movies are real. Movies versus reality.
Okay.
Yeah, like my favorite one was it's like, well, Mom, what do you think? It's like, you know what? I think that was a really good product. You boys deserve something nice. And it's like, reality. It's like, well, Mom, what did you think? I think it sucked. And then she just like fucking smashes the shit. I was like, that's good. My other one was like, what was my other favorite Smosh? Was tips to basically like how to get away with murder or whatever. And it's like, yeah, like step 1. I will throw you back in your tank. I hope you realize that. I saw that. I felt that.
Oh, and I'm about to do it. He's going. He's jumping.
No, he's not going to jump. Now he might jump.
It's still hilarious that like the off tangent, like they used those lizards, the bearded dragons for holes.
Holes, yeah. And you know what's crazy? Is he's not even full size yet. Like he's still little. Yes, I know. You don't like me. I get it. You fucking bastard. Anyways. Yes, I talk to my lizard like this, and no, you can't do anything about it. He's my lizard. Go.
Any final thoughts and concerns about this win of the internet and like everybody saying like nature has healed, like the fucking timeline is being restored?
I don't think the timeline's being restored at all. I think this is just pure coincidence. The way the timeline's going to be restored is a lot of other shit's going to have to happen. And I mean, granted, some chess pieces are moving into that position. I do like that. However, it is also a very unknown ground at this point. So I'm curious to see where we're going to go forward with.
Like
if you guys know me, you know what I'm talking about. So the biggest thing is like, okay, let's see how we're going to maneuver around this and go from there. Anyways, so going from talking about old school YouTube, let's go ahead and talk about the oldest school of all, the box office, particularly box office flops. So. Currently, right now, Elemental and The Flash are losing so much money. They are so terribly underperforming that it's not even chuckle worthy anymore. And here's the thing, man, I know exactly why.
I was really looking forward to Elementals. I'm not even gonna lie. I really thought it was a really good, like, just visually, and like the plot and everything was so good.
Yeah,
I agree. Like, it saddens me. Like, my inner child like saddens me. Like, you know, to see this movie being like.
Well,
y'all get your stuff out. I will explain my theories as to why these films are failing.
I'm going to reiterate what I said last week. We're facing the death of cinema.
Yeah,
I think we're definitely facing a low point. I don't think we're facing the death of cinema just yet.
No,
because there still are a lot of high moments to where it's like, okay, yeah, I get it. No, don't get me wrong. This year is terrible for movies right now.
Oh yeah, for 100% sure. Because we're still coming back from like everything getting back to normal, and also the fact of like, if cinema was dead, like we would be seeing Cinemark apps as a subscription base. We're seeing AMC as a subscription base. Any at least like the big kind. You know, I'm just spitballing.
Oh, you're talking about like going straight to streaming. That's
yeah.
Okay, that's different. No. And I will say this. Last year was definitely the year for cinema. 100%. You had banger after banger. You had No Way Home. You had fucking Top Gun Maverick. You had so many good movies last year. Those are the biggest two I can think of right now. You had Nope. You had Jordan Peele's Nope. You had also, so many good movies. It's just this year's kind of shit.
Like also the stuff that was like in streaming services that never went onto actual theaters.
Last year was a good year for streaming as well. Now I will say streaming is definitely dying at the very least. I would not be surprised.
I think it's still going up and down.
I agree.
I will say this is definitely the year for gaming. 100%.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, like, you're having banger after banger after banger come out right now.
I'm kind of nervous. Shit, I'm kind of nervous now on like what's the next cycle of like.
I think next year it's probably not going to be great for gaming because there are you're going to have your high points for sure towards the beginning, maybe the middle of the year, and I think you're definitely going to hit your low points. But I think there are enough movies right now. Huh?
Books are going to make a comeback.
You can fucking keep dreaming. You can keep dreaming. Nerd. Yeah, but anyways, no. So. The point I was trying to make with these two movies, the reason why I have two different reasons. So I'll go with my reasons for Flash and my reasons for Elemental.
Okay.
So my reasons for Flash. One thing. You had James Gunn announce his new plan for the DC movies, and I think every single DC movie after that announcement has been struggling. Like, the Flash was the biggest one, and then now you have Blue Beetle, which a lot of people are saying, why am I even going to go bother to see it if it's not going to be important anymore? And then, of course, Aquaman 2, there's other reasons, but that is another reason why it's not going to do well.
Every time you say Aquaman 2, I have to laugh.
I'm sorry. But anyways...
I wasn't even aware there was going to be... Oh, wait, no, I remember now.
You forgot.
Yeah, Lost Kingdom. Yeah, exactly. So, here's the thing. Love Jason Momoa. I wish him the best of luck. I hope to God he gets recasted as Lobo, because that's that's fucking perfect casting right there.
He would make a great Lobo.
He would make a fantastic Lobo. But that's besides the point. And I think if there's anybody that could make Lobo work, it would be James Gunn. But that's the main reason why. I think DC made a terrible decision to announce that this year. Don't get me wrong. I get the faith in DC was fucking plummeting.
Well,
so it would have been hard regardless.
DC's issue. It's Warner Brothers in general.
Oh no, definitely it's a Warner Brothers. It's a
harder and harder for the past.
And it doesn't help the fact that they are as reactionary as they are.
The problem
and
is
that's the
problem. Warner Brothers has been struggling like even like right after like even before the pandemic. I just been feeling like that with like all their brands and all their like whether like Rooster Teeth in itself, like just other things outside of the anything that's affiliated with Warner Brothers. I don't know what it is, or if it's like whoever's part of corporate or the new management or whatever.
Part of it is they just went through one merger about 3 years ago, and that merger ended, and now they have gone through another one, and that's part of the problem. And now, don't get me wrong, this new guy, I'm not entirely on his side. I will say, from a business standpoint, I understand why he's doing what he's doing. He's trying to fix this shit.
Yeah.
I understand. And don't get me wrong, when you fix shit, you're going to break 10 times more. And I get it. And it happens. But like
that's part of like also wanting to fix whatever was broken. So I mean,
exactly. So it's never going to be perfect, but you're going to make it something new, hopefully something original, unique, and that everybody loves. But if you don't, and somebody else will come in and try to fix it again.
Right.
So that's the biggest thing. And I think part of it is Warner Brothers has been having a rough go of it for the past, let's say, 10 years. I really want to say 10 years because they have had a few successes. Like I would argue Dune, The Suicide Squad, Zack Snyder's Justice League, HBO Max did really well. You have like
Peacemaker did decent.
You have their Cartoon Network and Adult Swim side of things.
That thing fucking blew over 100%.
Yeah, and then of course you also have a lot of their DC animated. Their DC animated has been doing fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, their animated shows in general, movies, banger after banger after banger.
Yeah,
but their movies are always lacking.
Well, their animated movies are doing really well too. Their animated movies are either okay or they're like banger after banger, and that's the best thing that you can do. Whereas with their movies, it's like okay, dog shit, that was good, dog shit, okay, and it's like it's a constant like it's
cycle.
Never just okay, that's good, okay, that's good, or okay, that's good, that's good, that's it's never been that.
Yeah.
It has never been that precise, and I think part of it is it's just. That's why I think with The Flash is okay. I don't hate that movie. It's actually I would recommend it. Except here's the thing. I don't recommend the first half. The first half is fine. There's like a really fun opening, but that's about it. Like the rest of it, the middle, like that first half of the middle is it's a bit of a slog to get through. But once you get Michael Keaton introduced, that's when the movie picks up and never lets you go. Like, I mean, yeah, it lets you go towards the end, but like as soon as Michael Keaton pops on screen, the movie picked up for me. And that's what I think part of it is too, because it has been getting mixed reviews. It has been getting a lot of trashing of the CGI. And, you also have people that are like, I don't know why I would go see this for either A, the reason of Ezra Miller, or B, because it's not going to be important anytime soon. So, that's the thing. And I had hope for it because this is the first big budget live action Flash we've gotten on the film side of things. I know TV has had a lot and I know animation has had a lot, but on the film side, and here's the thing, I'm with a lot of different people because Warner Brothers is reactionary. I don't want this to be the next Green Lantern. I really don't, because Green Lantern is dog shit. I don't disagree, but since then, Warner Brothers has not had faith in a Green Lantern movie forever. There's been like talks of one, but then it almost always eventually becomes a fucking TV show.
And even then, Ryan Reynolds, he said he's not fucking touching that with a 10-foot pole.
No. And I don't want Ryan Reynolds to. I think he was drastically miscast.
I agree.
I think personally, I think Matt Damon would have been a decent choice for Hal Jordan. In my personal opinion, I think Matt Damon would have been a decent.
Matt Damon would have been good
because, like, here's the thing: the rest of the casting of that movie was actually not that bad. Minus the villain. The villain was weak, I will agree. But like the rest of the casting was really, really well done. Like Mark Strong is a great Sinestro. I would love to see him return. But I don't think we're ever going to. And that's the problem. So, it comes to, and of course Michael Clark Duncan can't come back because he's dead. But He was a really good choice for Kilowog. I mean, granted, all you need is a big burly voice. Honestly, I think Brian Tyree Henry would be a good choice if you're going to do another casting for Kilowog. I think he's perfect. But that's just me. Now, I also think if you're going to recast Sinestro, David Tennant, Matt Smith, or Benedict Cumberbatch. Those are my 3 choices. Or bring back Mark Strong, one of the 2. But anyway, so that's my reasoning for why The Flash is probably not doing as well as they had suspected. Because I think a lot of have so much background behind it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, and I definitely also agree. Like I said, it's I think a lot of it has to do with also the issues of Ezra Miller.
It does. But I mean, for those that have been like out of the loop with that, or they've forgotten about it, because there's not been a lot of press coverage with that as well.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of people that are like, well, now the big press coverage is this is what James Gunn is doing now.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is obviously not connected to that because this was filming well before that. Yeah. And then, for anybody that was keeping an ear to the ground with it, it went through director, writer, and then it finally landed on Andy Muschietti before it even, and then COVID hit. And that was the problem. So, I wish DC the best of luck. I really do. But I know for a fact Warner Brothers is probably going to fuck it up again somehow. Somehow, some way, because they're so reactionary.
They need to figure their shit out because, like, at the same
time,
I
don't think you need to do a half reboot. And as much as you're going to piss people off for how good Blue Beetle most likely will be, you need to do a hard reset. Nothing from previous iterations can come back. Not even actors.
I will say this. From us talking about Blue Beetle, I think it'll be a great movie. The only downside is from how we're talking about it. I think it's going to have a low audience. 100% it's going to have a low audience.
Yeah, it was originally going to go directly to HBO Max, and then they're like, no, we're cutting out anything that was like almost mostly done, aside from Batgirl. Anything that was mostly done that is like loose enough connected. Like there's references, but it's not like directly involved. Like that's the reason really why they cut out Batwoman, because Michael Keaton was directly involved with it. So I think that's why they're keeping Blue Beetle. They're keeping the Flash. Yeah, it's like, oh, this is the last time we're going to see any of these people play these characters. Now, I will say, if you are going to bring a character over or actor, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman is a good choice.
Yeah, she's a good Wonder Woman. I think a lot of the reason why Blue Beetle's not going to do as well is because he's not a very known character.
He's not.
That's one of the big issues too.
Now I will say this: Hispanic audiences will go in fucking floods to this movie. I guarantee.
And people who are hardcore comic book junkies as well too.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because I personally enjoy the lore of Blue Beetle.
Oh, Blue Beetle has great lore.
No,
I don't disagree with you. Yeah, so it's just one of those things. I feel bad for Aquaman 2 because Aquaman was really I was pleasantly surprised by that movie.
No, same
here. I really was.
I really liked the movie.
I was surprised how much I liked it. Yeah, and that baggage, and also we have DC. I think if they would have waited till after Aquaman 2 to announce for James Gunn to announce anything, if he said, "Oh yeah, no, we're still working on a plan. We're still kind of we're still kind of getting the details out. This is our timeline that we have planned. This is what we're going to call it, but we're not going to announce anything. This is what we have planned." Then I think people would have been like, "Okay, so I don't know if this is still going to be loosely connected or not." And that's where I think Blue Beetle is going to probably be okay because the director has come out and say, "Oh no, we're still part of James Gunn's plan. Just please go see this movie." And that does seem desperate, but I also see why they did it. So, now, on to Elemental. Here's my problem with Elemental. So, it's not going to be as long as a rant. It's actually a lot shorter. So, you know how everybody's saying there's superhero fatigue, there's multiverse fatigue? Yes, 100%. It is definitely a thing.
Like, I think people are...
Here's my next thing.
I think people are just over with
I think people are getting Disney fatigue. I really do. And here's the problem. Yeah. And that's part of the problem. Now, Disney, it doesn't help the fact that Disney is giving us Star Wars fatigue and Marvel fatigue at the same time. It doesn't help that they're double fisting us like that. But Disney fatigue is a real thing because, okay, on their regular side of things, aside from a couple of new animated movies, 90% of what they're announcing is live action remakes. And nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. Those. Nobody really wants those, but they'll go see them because they'll be like, oh, cool, my kid might like it.
Like Little Mermaid. Like, it was announced, and then after it came out, no one fucking talked about it.
controversy after controversy, and then it disappeared, and then it came out again, and then people were wondering why it didn't fucking do anything. So, you have that, and then on top of that, Disney is overworking all of their studios to the nth degree, except their own.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem is. Because they're like, we're going to focus on our brands before we focus on ourselves. And it's like, I get having focus on your brands. I get it. Those are your main marketing points now, because you can't just market off of yourself anymore.
Yeah.
You started it with Pixar, and you've kept going since then. So here's the thing. Part of it is it used to be, we used to only get a Pixar film maybe every 5 or 6 years or so.
Because they would try to at least outdo themselves. And
exactly. Or they would try to come up with the original story. And then we got Cars. And then we got more stuff. But
also, but also the fact of like new technology and new CG, new ways of creating, writing, and new programs and shit. But
exactly.
And I think we're at a point to where, like, even with like, I think they're really just pushing out as much as they can, because they just announced Bambi. They just announced Bambi, like a live action Bambi. In my opinion, who the fuck is gonna torture their children to watch a live action Bambi, especially with that fucking shot, like that one scene with Bambi?
Also, I can't wait for John Cena to voice adult Bambi.
Oh.
But that being said,
why are they announcing Bambi? Where is my fucking live action Atlantis: The Lost Empire? Or
actually,
it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen because then he said "fuck Atlantis." That's why.
Yeah, I want to point out. Argue. Yeah, go ahead.
SNL called a live action Bambi.
Yeah, but they said it was gonna be like Fast and the Furious. Yeah, but they did
what SNL did.
Oh my god!
They did what SNL did.
Yeah. Well, I said SNL was saying it was going to be a live-action sequel.
Yeah, it was going to be like a sequel.
Yeah, but anyways, that being said, my main point is, it used to be. What's up? Dude, you don't have to ask me. I barely drink it as is.
And also, it's we're it's not looking good for also the live-action Lilo and Stitch movie too. So
no, it's not. My point being is. The reason why I brought up we only got a Pixar movie every maybe 5-6 years. And that's pushing it. I would say, honestly, every 3 or 4 years. And yeah, you got a couple of stinkers every now and then. Like, you had Cars 2, you had Monsters University, you had Brave was oddly enough a stinker, even though I don't necessarily hate Brave. I think Brave is still really well done.
I think Brave was a really good movie.
But it did not do well. It was a hard movie to market, and I can understand that's why it did not do as well. So, but I would argue WALL-E is an even harder movie to market, but it had so much beautiful cinematography and such an interesting idea that was how they marketed it. And I think that's why WALL-E did as well as it did. 100%. But the biggest thing is now we're at a point where you had COVID. The lockdown caused it for a lot of Pixar movies to go directly to Disney Plus, and that was when Disney Plus was in its infancy, and it really wasn't a good marketing ploy. So you have that. And then on top of that, you also were getting to a point where we were getting maybe 1 or 2 Pixar movies every year.
Yeah.
That's where you ran out of your magic. You're overworking your people. And you're doing the same thing with Marvel. Now you're focused more on quantity over quality. And that's why a lot of people are saying Marvel is overworking everybody. And it's just become a big issue. And I would say, arguably, Elemental, not necessarily a difficult movie to market. You definitely want to market like, oh, look at all this beautiful scenery. Look at how unique this film looks. But then you go to the story. And that's my final point as to why I think Elemental is not doing as well. The story broke that it is another allegory for interracial couples, immigration, and segregation. And this is like the 15th time in the past 4 years that Disney has done this, whether it be from their own movies or from fucking Pixar.
It's so that's too predictable.
It's too predictable. And that's where I think Disney is like, all right, this is the message we're trying to push, and we're going to continue to push it because it makes money, or at least gets us viewership and attention. Yeah. But it's not, and now it's to the point where it's not making money. And I hope to God Disney is starting to see that.
Because here's the thing, like you know, I don't want to go too off topic, but it's kind of like in a funny haha way, how DreamWorks, their like teenage Kraken I'm more interested in seeing that than I am the elementals.
Right?
Yeah, I am
Like,
too.
100%.
Yeah, I think that is such a much more unique idea, and also it is a obvious dig at Disney with how they designed the mermaid. 100%. There's no denying that. It is a 100% like this is what you get, fucker. It's a prison shanking at Disney. But I'm right there with you, Lewis. I am far more interested in seeing Ruby Gilmore, Ruby Gilman, I think it's Gilman, Teenage Kraken more than I am Elemental. And I was interested in Elemental.
I'm not ashamed to. I want to see it when it comes out. I don't care.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I'm not ashamed of it either because DreamWorks has actually now proven that they could confidently make something that feels like Disney used to be. You look at Puss in Boots' Last Wish. Now you look at Ruby Gilman. They're starting to push that more uniqueness that DreamWorks was originally known for. And then they just kind of started doing Shrek, Boss Baby, Bad Guys was another one.
But yeah, I think I like their direction. I know that they're not gonna, every company's gonna be having their highs and lows, but I think DreamWorks right now is taking their time. I think that's what a lot of a lot of companies, they need to take their time with stuff. Like
I agree.
Slow down, because it's not it's one of those things. It's like also got to worry about marketing and all this other like dumb stuff too, because it's when a movie comes out, whether that be like animated movie comes out, what's the next thing that they're going to want to do in marketing? T-shirts, books, anything or toys, anything that they can come out and get easy cash grabs. That's the thing that they're going to focus on after a movie or a book comes out. So
I agree.
Part of the problem is the rush is being dictated by people who are just profiting off of it. They aren't putting any actual work in outside of the crack in the whip.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the biggest thing. So even though we chat on live action remakes, here's one that we're actually kind of excited for. So our final topic for the night is we got our first official images at the
Let's go.
I would have loved to have seen Toph, but I don't think we're getting Toph just yet. Of the Netflix live action Avatar series. Now, I will say this: I have been an adamant supporter of this because the original creators were originally attached, and up until my knowledge recently, I thought that was still the case. They unfortunately did leave. But they have also basically said that anybody else that stayed has an absolute passion for this series, for this franchise, and that they feel like it's been put into safe hands, even though that they did because they're focusing on their animated stuff.
I think it'll be decent enough that it'll hold on for a few weeks, and I'll give it that. No, not to be rude or anything, because also the fact of it's Netflix. That's my only
true. No, my thing is here's what I'm gonna say. I think the original creators will probably do something similar to The Last of Us. You're going to get enough familiar beats, but you're going to get something different, and it's going to give you a reason why this needs to exist.
Yeah, right. And I feel like also they're honestly, if I'm being honest, I think they dropped it because they're focusing more on the animated series. That's
exactly what I was getting at. They're focusing on their animated movies that they just got greenlit. So I'm happy for them. I'm hope that they hope they put all their focus into that, and I hope that this crew I hope that their faith is not misplaced, because that is the biggest thing. Now, of course, we didn't get a full-on trailer. We just got the announcement that, hey, here are the set photos.
Snapshots.
Here's the thing. With those set photos, I think we're going to get a poster within the next couple weeks. And then very shortly after that, we are going to get a trailer, because that's usually how the marketing works. So they release a few teaser images, then we get a poster, then we get the trailer. And then at that point, the marketing's not going to stop.
I'm going to keep my eye on Twitter, because Twitter is
Twitter's usually where everything drops, and then wait for the trailer on YouTube. Yeah. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. The teaser, like they did do like a 60-second video, but
it showed all the different elements. I did like that. That was really done well.
I thought that was really cool. And then immediately right after that, we saw Aang, Zuko,
Katara, and Sokka.
Sokka, and they all look great. I think
they do. I love it's not just a flat out carbon copy. They do have enough. Like, honestly, if you go back and look at that image, if you look at the arrow, it does have air swirls in the tattoo.
Yeah, it is.
That is a lot of details. Insanely done well. Because, like, here's the thing. I will say this: the project that we do not speak of,
You mean the two projects? There are two projects that we don't speak of.
Two.
Dragon Ball Evolution.
Okay, I'm talking about and related to Avatar.
Well,
I'm not talking
way,
about and related to just live action dog shit adaptations. Here's the thing. Shyamalan's version, and yes, I'm going to continue to call them Shyamalan's because Rick and Morty did it.
He's at this point.
Yeah. Anyways, so
okay,
Shyamalan's version, while yes has its issues,
I still
and is a terrible. Here's the thing: it still has its issues. It is still a terrible adaptation of the product.
Oh, dude, it could have been so much
from
better.
a writing standpoint and from an acting standpoint.
Writing
and
casting.
In casting, I will not disagree with you. Here's the thing. I don't hate the production design of that show. Or of the movie. I don't hate it. I don't even hate Ong's fucking tattoo. I actually like his tattoo. His tattoo's pretty damn cool. I don't like how dark it is. I like it.
I
this
hate
is
how
a
they
good
combination
of
that. The story. That was.
Oh yeah, no. That's the biggest problem is that they were trying to make it a movie. They were trying to make each season a movie, and it's like there's so much story in each season. Arguably, yes, a lot of it is filler, but it's good filler.
I was gonna say I would have, no offense, and I know it might be too long. I would have loved a fucking Harry Potter style like for the last Avatar. It would have made so much more sense into having not like that long, but at least
so basically split maybe each season into 2 movies.
Yeah, and like make it to where it's enjoyable and not just like indigestible.
Yeah, that could definitely work for sure. I'm glad that they're doing it as a series, though. I hope it's not like 13 episodes because that's way too short. I would say give it maybe 10. 20?
What I've heard is like each episode is going to be an hour long.
Oh, that's even better. Okay, that gives me more faith.
And I think it was like 8 or 10 episodes. I don't remember exactly. But I think
so anywhere from 8 to 10 hours worth of live action TV. That's not bad. I give you credit. That's good.
And it has to depend on how well it does on the first day it comes out. Hopefully it's going to be on the top 10 of the most watched.
I think it's going to because Netflix. Every time that they have added Avatar: The Last Airbender to Netflix, it is always in the top 10. Oh, if not at least the top 15, or it's like, hey, this is what a lot of people have watched this week. Mm-hmm. That's usually where Avatar stays there. It may not be always at the forefront, but it stays there. So even that means that there is still...
Even Legend of Korra is still on that top front too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
so
they're both such great shows.
Exactly.
I agree. I have my issues, but from what I've seen, what I've read, I think it's in good hands. Even though the main writers left, I believe they left it in some decent hands where we're going to get a really good series.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Until Netflix cancels it for no reason.
Yeah, for sure. Ali, what do you think of all the
then we fucking riot
about Avatar so far?
Honestly, with this is the first I've heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first saw the picture before we started the stream, I'm just like, oh, I things that I don't want to remember right now.
I don't blame you.
From hearing you guys talk about it, I'm hopeful.
Yeah,
it gives us hope. I think the whole community is giving it hope.
I hope.
Okay, I pray and hope it gets this far. You know what episode I can't wait to see in live action?
It's the Quenchiest.
Okay, I really do hope they keep Sokka's great comedy. But you know what?
Yeah, 100%. This guy doesn't look like as dead fucking serious as the last one. I think he looks like he could be funny.
Yeah. You know what episode I can't wait to see?
What?
Is the play episode.
Oh! Yes. It is a great discrepancy. They don't do that episode. I swear. Like at the very least, if you're not gonna make it like one of the mainline episodes, just be like, oh yeah, here's a meanwhile thing, and it's like 30 minutes. That's it. That's all you need.
No, I think it'd be great a full-on fucking episode of that.
Oh, 100%. I don't think you need to make it a full hour though, because like honestly, that episode was fairly short, and it was just basically like, oh yeah, here's filler to the finale. Have fun. You know, and it's good filler. It's still good filler, but like still, it is filler. Let's be.
I'm excited to see the range of emotion from Aang's actor.
Oh, 100%, because I think I've seen this kid in other things. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, the main three are all unknown actors. They're still relatively new,
which I think is a good idea too.
That's a great idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I like how they're keeping more the ethnicity of it as well. Like you definitely see more Inuit in Sokka and Katara, and then you also see you definitely see a little bit more Asian. I would say Eastern Asian, somewhere around there, in Aang, and then you definitely see a lot of Japanese in Zuko. Like as soon as I saw him, like he's Japanese. What fucking phenomenal! Because that's what a lot of the Fire Nation was based off of. Like I would say Tibetan monks is the Air Nation, and Inuits are the.
I haven't seen anything for Uncle Iroh yet, but I can't wait to see that.
I think they picked a really good actor.
I can't remember. I think they casted. I don't know if this is correct or not. I think they casted the guy who replaced the original Uncle Iroh to play Uncle Iroh.
Because he does look like Uncle Iroh. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because I think he did get casted because I think almost don't quote me, but from what I heard, almost half of the people who were voice actors, some of them got actually like casted into the game, in the actual role.
Yeah, I heard.
Who I wanted to see who I want to see in live action is the trio of baddies that we eventually get. That's who I want. I can't wait to see me some Ty Lee in live action, baby. Come on, baby. Like, come on,
circus.
I heard rumor. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard rumor that the voice actor that played Zuko is playing the Fire Lord.
No, that's not him. No.
It was
Donnie Basco voiced Zuko, so you're thinking Rufio. That's not Rufio. Yeah. That's Daniel Kim, if I remember correctly. That is his name. Did you remember? You remember that David Harbour live action movie?
Not
Hellboy.
You
remember the guy that turned into a cheetah in the trailers? The guy with the really bad scar on his face.
Not off the top of my head, no.
Okay, that's the only movie I remember off of recent. That's the only movie out of my recent memory that I remember him being in.
Well,
I've seen him in other stuff.
If it's the new Hellboy, I've still yet to watch the new one.
I say give it a chance. There's a lot of promise in it. It's terrible execution, but I still enjoy it. I have my moments with it. I'm like,
I just heard rumor that he was gonna be playing the Fire Lord. But
no, but it would not surprise me if they cast him as one of like the generals, or like they just give him like a role. Like I would love it if they make Donnie Basco fucking. I think that's his name. I think it's Donnie Basco. Anyway, I would love it if they make him the cabbage guy. That'd be hilarious.
Like cabbages. Oh, that's what
I don't know because of how he acts. I feel like that'd be almost an insult in a way.
Kind of.
I feel like
he would have fun with it.
Oh yes, I full-heartedly agree. He would probably have so much fun with it. But I think maybe, like you were saying, I think maybe one of the generals, like one of the more known generals, other than Uncle Iroh, would be really cool.
Maybe. My other thing is like, in all honesty, because I think you definitely still you don't want to give it like too much attention. I think honestly, just giving him like slightly, because let's be perfectly honest, as much as everybody loves Uncle Iroh and he does have his episodes, he's not even in the top 3 section of cast that we follow. I would say he's like, he gets close, but he's mostly in the 4th category, especially towards the later seasons. Like he's very important in the first 2 seasons. I would say first season and a half, but then he kind of like when Zuko mostly goes on his own, that's when Uncle Iroh starts taking a back seat. And I do like that. So I would argue that's why definitely cast the guy who replaced Mako, however you pronounce his name, as Uncle Iroh.
Careful, you will get people on your.
I know. Doug Walker already does. But anyways, I don't make fun of him because he actually sounded like Splinter to me in that TMNT movie. He didn't sound like Splinter if he smoked 100 Marlboros. Sorry, I had to. Come after me. I'm open. Do it. I dare you. Anyways, no, it's whatever. But anyways, so it's just one of those things. I'm very excited about this show. I cannot wait.
Yeah, 100%.
I cannot wait till we get it. Now, granted, if the trailer ends up being ass, I'm going to be very skeptical going in. I'm still going to watch it, but I'm going to be very skeptical. I'm going to be like, you didn't win me over with the trailer.
Let's hope that you win the show.
You're good.
We're good.
If not, like, okay, here's the thing. Best example of terrible trailers, but they were intentional, but still terrible trailers. Great movie. Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
Terrible marketing. Like, one of the worst. It was done intentionally. That's why I always say Cabin in the Woods is a love-hate letter to the horror genre as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
definitely, I can't wait to see it like a full-blown trailer.
Oh, me either. Like and honestly, here's the thing: if you keep it as teasers, like maybe minute-long teasers, like you just see like very quick shots of the whole show, keep it like that, dude. I'd be perfectly fine with that. Keep the interest, keep the vague going. Don't give me don't give me a plot, because I ultimately know the plot going in.
We all know the plot going in.
We all know the plot going in.
We've read the books. We've seen the series at this point.
Exactly. Like, come on, man.
Come on. I don't know how many times I have pulled out all 3 DVDs.
I'm waiting to get the 4K because they're eventually gonna. I think Best Buy is gonna eventually re-release. They're gonna do like a new steelbook, but they're gonna have a 4K. Each season has its own steelbook.
I just bought the complete season of Teen Titans Go.
See, I need to go.
The original Teen Titans.
No, hold on. Okay, I swear to God, I heard you say go.
I said go, but then I was like, fuck. Not Go, but the original.
We don't
Teen
Titans.
Well, you know what's funny?
Hold on. Teen Titans Go is not that bad. Let's be perfectly honest.
It was decent.
It's decent. It's definitely dumbed down for kids, but it is decent. Also, their Teen Titans Go to the movies. That movie was.
I did not watch it. No.
I'm telling you, watch it because it's actually quite funny.
I know.
I
heard that it memes on itself like hard.
Oh, hardcore! I'm going to tell you this. So there is a point where time travel gets involved, and they have to stop certain origins, and how they stop them, and then when they go back to their future, and then they're like, "Oh shit, we got to go back and remake them." How they do that is so insanely clever, and so it's like irritatingly so well written. Like basically the way they get rid of Aquaman, and this is like one that you see going forward, is him and baby swimming, and all they do is they take the 6-pack ring thing and they just toss it in the ocean.
It reminds me of Aqualad.
No, like seriously, they just take that little 6-pack ring thing and they toss it in the ocean, and he gets caught in it.
I actually just watched not too long ago Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans.
That was really good too.
That was a good one. That was a really good one. Is like when they're entering the arena, and then you see a fan go, "You ruined my childhood."
That was a really good. Yeah. Like, no, I will say this: Teen Titans Go has never not stopped memeing on itself. 100%. Like it knows. Not a lot of people like the show.
You know what? At least
they say we know we don't like you don't like.
I will give it even this. I'm glad that the original cast was there. I'm glad that at least the original cast
at least the original cast is there. That's 100%. Yeah. But no, I love that Control Freak episode where he shows them the original show. Like, it ends right there. Yeah, it's like it just ends there. What the fuck? And it's like, yeah. Ballsy, huh? And it's
I'm still fucking pissed that it says on the DVD it says complete season. I'm like, bullshit. Well,
you know what's funny is I think Teen Titans Go to the movies. Ultimately, yes, it was teasing Teen Titans versus Teen Titans Go, but it was also teasing a possibility of another show, like a revival. I would love that. I think AEO is missing. They have been.
But honestly, I'm kind of worried about it because of the fact of like, I don't know if they're going to either continue off where they left off, or they're just gonna basically scrap the whole entire thing and just start from fresh again. Which is
I wouldn't say start from fresh. I would say definitely do like a loose reboot.
So I want them to fix shit that they should have fixed.
Don't pick up directly where you start, where you ended. Obviously, don't pick up right there. admit that it happens, kind of give us like a little bit like, oh yeah, this is what happened since then. Like maybe even if it's just like, well, we've been through a lot, and then it just kind of gives us like a recap of the whole show, like very important moments, and it's like, yeah, and ultimately I didn't find her, all that fun shit, right? And it's like, okay, that makes sense.
And
I
please
like
don't
that.
try to make it like appeal to the lingo that it is now. Like just make it the way it was intended.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna try to do that to appeal, like I'm not against of the LGBTQ community or anything with anything else, but like I know that when it comes to like new things, they always want to
Starfire is sexually attracted to horses. Thank you, Lewis, for confirming that.
No, they just out of nowhere bring a new character to the to the Teen Titans that was never there, but they're part of the LGBTQ plus. And I'm like,
honestly, what you could do is you could do what the comics has kind of done. Not necessarily. I'm just talking like you can take a comic character that mostly didn't get a lot of attention that was part of the East Coast Teen Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Make them gay.
Or heck, how many Teen Titans were there by the
there was West, East, North.
Against...
Yeah.
Can I finish?
No.
By the time they were actually fighting against Brain and his Legion of Villains.
Oh yeah. Fucking Marvel, the Marvel universe. The Warner Brother universe.
That finale right there, where it was everybody that was ever contacted fighting against all the villains.
Yeah, that was done really well. Didn't Jinx join the Teen Titans at one point?
Yes.
It wasn't like a double crossing. She was just there.
Joined it.
No, she joined it. Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah, because I remember Jinx was like, I want her to be good.
Fucking Cyborg, bro.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Alrighty then. Well, back onto Avatar. I think we're super excited about it. Even though we did go off on a huge tangent, we're super excited about it. We're also definitely cautious. We're not just going to go in blind and be like, "Oh, it good." No, if it's good, we're gonna do that. If it's not, we're good.
We're good.
Maybe not exactly like that, but
what's up?
Maybe not exactly like that. But...
Not caveman.
No, we'll be like, okay, we're pleasantly surprised that it is a good show. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna go
good movie, good series, good.
Yeah, I heard we'll be getting it about mid 2024.
Yeah, I've heard that too. That we're supposed to be getting it around 2044.
There's a fire. Rock. If you know that reference,
It good.
Yes.
I love
the fuck
that.
up. Anyways, sorry about that. I apparently screamed a little bit. But anyways, I just wanted to do the stick thing, Anyways, all right. So, any more thoughts, comments, concerns on this show? Which Leon, I believe you said is coming out next year.
Yeah, from what I've been hearing, about mid 2024. I could be wrong, but I've seen 2024 come around a lot.
Okay, that makes sense. Especially because we're starting. I think they've been filming, so it's good that we're getting that for sure.
That's actually really good timing because they could bring out that. And then, because I've heard the first movie's supposed to come out early 2025.
That would make sense. So just have kind of ride off the coattails of that a little bit, just get the Avatar craze going back. Because I know the new series is supposed to be coming out soon too.
Yeah.
Where I think this one's following an Earthbender, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's going to be definitely interesting for sure.
It's supposed to go off because there's already a comic series that's based off of after Avatar Korra.
Yes. And I liked. Here's the thing: I never fully sat down and watched Korra. I did watch a couple episodes here and there, but
it's actually pretty good.
I know. I've heard the villains are fantastic in that.
Oh yeah.
Even compared to the original, the villains are phenomenal. Anyways, so the one thing I did like is for the episodes that I did see, and I wasn't entirely I was lost for the most part. I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I do like it that it does kind of follow almost like a steampunk-esque. It's really good world building. I'd love to see how they progress that.
I love that they instead of sticking with the way it was on the first original season, how it time with the time skip obviously stuff should like be more advanced a little bit. Stuff should be a little bit more like stuff that would make sense. And I think steampunk was a great addition to like the whole entire like.
I agree.
I'm not saying go like future neo, like I'm not going like neo future kind of shit.
I don't want technology in there, but like
build. I wouldn't mind technology, but like early technology, like you're starting to see screens, but they're still kind of like almost like the 80s, almost like an 80s steampunk kind of thing.
Well,
blend those together.
Steampunk made sense with the integration of the clans. Like once the clans started interacting with each other more than just
and then you also had metal bending as well, so that helped as well. And I think that
blood bending for Christ.
Blood bending, even though I think it was banned. Like by the time Korra was around, it was already like it was a banned art basically.
It was a
banned, I know Katara does use art.
It was a banned art before.
Yeah, because it was in the
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. It was considered very taboo, basically. I don't think it was banned, but I know it was taboo.
No, it was banned.
It was banned.
Oh,
yeah, it was banned. Because Katara, I think in one of the episodes, Katara was learning from.
Yeah, she was learning it from the old lady. I remember that episode. That episode's creepy as fuck.
Yeah, the lady, this lady learned it because the power of the moon actually since the moon enhances our powers. Mm-hmm. She was able to figure out how to blood bend, since blood's water, basically, and she used it to get revenge on a lot of firebenders.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay. So that does make sense that it was considered banned, but I think it's like now with the merging of the clans, like it's 100% like illegal. Like it was banned, but I'm pretty sure if you lived remote enough, you could do it. Now I think with the merging of the clans, like if you do it in the city, you're pretty much dead. But I do know there is one episode where Katara, because I think she's like an inspector or something about the show. Again, barely watched the show, but I know a few episodes. There is an episode where Katara is like old lady Katara is using it to help Korra, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. Yes, it's been a while since I've watched Korra, but yeah, that does sound vaguely familiar.
Also, is Aang alive in Korra, or am I completely wrong?
No, he passed away.
It's just an airbender. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's his.
I look at him and I'm like, he looks so much like Aang.
So it's his. It's his son. It's one of his son.
Oh, it's his son.
Because he had three. He had 3 kids. He had two sons and a daughter.
And one of them looks way too much like Boomy.
I
believe they,
also, hey, can we
that
all
would be Commander Boomy
to get Ali to play live action Boomy? She has the craziness for it. Let's be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can agree with that.
Ali would be perfect Boomy. Ali is the Boomy of this group.
Like SpongeBob episode. Did someone say boo?
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Anyways, this has been fun, guys. All right, so that has been the episode. This has been the Snodacast. I've been your host, Blackside56. This has been episode 14. I've been joined by Diamond Assassin.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
I've been joined by DJ Lionheart.
Stay nerdy.
And the immortal God Slayer, Hungry Hufflepuff.
I definitely need
Ali, the God Slayer.
You needed that. You needed it. Yeah. Hungry, the God Slayer. Anyways. And of course, I've been your host, Blackside56. Remember, we are all
professionals.
Once again, this has been the Snodacast. I've been your host, and we will see you